Growing up in rural Utah, nobody told me anything. Me and my parents never had a sex talk. There weren't facts about sex. I had my child at 19. We are a primarily coal and oil area. Most everybody has some sort of history with their family in coal mining. And I think people just think we're this barren, backwards desert. But there are people that do care. There are people who put their whole livelihoods into caring and making things accessible down here.
The first thing we do is we feel for uterus and ovaries. So it's kind of like a pap smear. You've had one of those.
Denell's Eastern Utah Women's Health is one of the only reproductive health clinics within Carbon County. She gets to see all of the effects of not having adequate sex ed. So we started a sex ed program.
The clitoris is understood to have how many nerve endings? 400, 4,000, 8,000, or 10,000?
At least 12.
Yellow is a good color. I'll just click that one.
Yellow is fun. There you go.
It was partly Tommy's passion and partly what the community was starting to ask more for that made me really think, okay, we need to really figure out how we're gonna move this forward.
So I've been told by my mom that the speculums they use when they put the IUD and have teeth in them to hold it in. Is that?
Nope.
No?
Nope, no teeth. Here, let's pass this around.
Should always check the expiration date first, but you can feel air between it. It's a good condom. If not, bad condom, don't use it.
I think this one would be like second.
They are peer educators. So we're teaching them to teach their friends. And Utah schools are not allowed to use the words consent. You have to use refusal skills. So consent, intimate partner violence, all of that is really what we're focusing on alongside of the anatomy and STIs.
Going into teen council and kind of getting what consent looks like has given me so much confidence. I had a really hard time understanding that I could just do what I want. Like, not even just like when it comes to people like touching me, but like dressing how I want, and also not having to hug people or be touched by people when I don't want to. I just kind of thought that that was something I just had to do. Like, just had to let people stomp all over my bodily autonomy like that. But now that I've kind of understood how important it is, it's really changed a lot for me, Definitely a big thing that's helped me out a lot, and I hope to continue to teach myself how to take care of my own needs. Oh man, it's getting smaller.
Oh, I gotta switch legs. Killed it.
It's a very beautiful but also very hard place to live sometimes. My rainbow flag from my front porch has been in the garbage 3 times now. And it's like hooked in, so I know it wasn't just the wind. A couple stickers on my car have been scratched out a couple times. People have yelled things at me on the street. I'm glad it happens to me and not other people. I've been doing this for a long time, and it takes more energy to be sad about it or to feel threatened about it. Most of the teens that are in high school here will probably just go to USU Eastern. It's cheap, it's close to home. When I first started college at USU Eastern, I had to immediately start helping people through really hard, really terrible things that happened to them. My second fall at USU, we had a really big sexual assault case. It came through on all of our phones that morning. I had, within 24 hours, 6 girls tell me that the same thing had happened to them and that they needed help and they didn't know how to get that. And, you know, it just, the things didn't happen to me, but they happened to other people, and helping people through that is not fun. I'd rather catch them at the beginning and have them know all about consent, how to ask for it, what to do if somebody doesn't ask for it.
Don't let me squish your...
I know that college kids are only a year or 2 off from where our teens are now. So having our 6 kids be known as experts in sex is going to have such a ripple effect on our community.
My mom left me this little book on periods when I was 10, just left it laying around the house, and I learned everything. And I was like, this is the most fascinating thing ever. And so it's always been interesting to me. And, you know, I just wanted to be able to know all I could about it and to really help people to understand their bodies. What you guys are learning how to do as peer educators, you put it all out there in a non-judgmental way, and you let them choose.
This is just a big deal to me to be in like teen council, just because I have never had, like, everything I've learned about sex ed has come from this. I knew nothing. My mom never sat down and gave me the talk on anything. I never got the period talk even. And I didn't get to take a health class because when I did finally, and it wouldn't have been great because I've heard, but when I was going to even get like the basics of like, this is what a penis is, COVID hit, so I didn't get to take a health class. So I was like, I don't like care a lot about, and this topic interests me. So it's very important to me that like, I don't want any other like 14-year-old kid to be like, what is happening and why am I bleeding? Because that's terrifying.
Utah's like, they need to learn about it in the home. They need to learn about it from the parents. But the problem is the parents never learned it to be able to teach it. So how do you make a difference in generations and generations and generations? That's where these teens come in. They're not only teaching other teens, they're going and talking to their brothers and sisters in their family. And then I think it gets to the heart of the adults. Even myself, I've learned so much from being taught by them. You know, I think it's natural to go back through your relationships as a teen. And I'm like, where were you? Where were you when I needed this? Where were you to teach me that this is not healthy? And so now we have all of these amazing teens out there doing this work.
Sometimes people will think that unhealthy behaviors aren't that bad since they aren't abusive, but they still can be very destructive if they aren't dealt with and resolved in a healthy manner.
I'm kind of starting to get known as the girl who talks about this stuff, and I'm like, you know, that's great. Because for a while, I always had so much anxiety talking to people. I'd be like, am I saying the wrong thing? Did I say that? Was it weird? Did I say something weird? Like, that was weird? Like, why did I say that? And now I'm like, yeah, that was weird. And I said it. All right, let's keep going with the conversation. I don't want to say we're like a little family, but we kind of are. Like, I know at any moment I could text any of them and be like, hey, I'm really struggling with this. And they'd be like, cool, I'm there. What do you need? I'll help you. It's kind of like a support system that it's nice to have.
No, that's adorable.
Little tray for. Oh my gosh.
This gift is perfect for you. It would be a shame if someone took it only to piss you off.
You can't create a community that you desire without being a part of the community. I couldn't make things better here if I don't live here. And I desperately want things to be better for younger kids. We have a responsibility to leave the world better than we found it. And that's really just what I'm trying to do with Teen Council and sex ed in the rural community in general. It's just make things a little bit better.
So we've got, this is like the Teen Council one. This one says safe sex doesn't suck. Cats against catcalls, safe sex, she, her, little Planned Parenthood one. This one's falling off. And then baddie for safe sex. All that I ever think about.